Hello, everyone. Welcome to another workshop series of NSF Research Coordination Network in Undergraduate Biology Education, RCN-UBE program. I'm Hamid Reza Sharifan, an assistant professor at the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry at University of Texas at El Paso. This is my first year at UTEP, and I have been teaching and doing research at University of Albany State University in south of Georgia. Today, we're going to talk about building collaborative research network. I hope we all get some lesson and some strategies how we do the collaboration and why it's important for us to do collaborative research network. So collaborative research network always, or collaborative approach always led to productive and successful research. But this is not actually for everyone, and this is not for all type of research. Imagine that you have a small marble or a small stone. You can hold it with your hand. You have a bigger stone, much bigger than this marble. You can hold it with two hands. But you have very, very huge stone. Then you cannot hold it with your hand alone. You need some other people to help you to hold it. This is also the same as a research or research idea. So some small research idea or research topic, you can handle it with your hand. You don't need really collaboration or collaborative work. Does not add anything. But sometimes you are handling a bigger idea. You are sharing your big idea with other people, and you are releasing your idea to other people. You are building a trust. So you need more hands, a strong hand, reliable hand to hold your idea and help you to carry it. So this is same as doing a collaborative research when we are sharing our idea. So building a collaborative research always comes with some questions. Why would you do the collaboration? Do you need to do collaboration, or you can just do it alone? So this is important that we're going to talk about it, why you really want to do it. Do you need it? Is it necessary? It will help your research to grow or not? And how would you do it? How do you approach it? What type of facility, what type of resources you need it? So these are also the questions that you have to write and analyze your idea, why you want to do it, how you want to do it, and when you do it. When is your deadline? When is the other people's deadline? When are your people available? We're going to talk about it. And how do you monitor the progress? This is very, very important when we do collaboration network, because we want to know how our successive progress will take place in the midterm and long term of the project that we do collaborative network. And how do you measure this success? Do you measure it by hiring of new students, by publishing paper, or submitting the initial report, final report, or making connection with other people, getting the preliminary result or final result? These are all important. That how do you measure your success in the research that you are conducting? So why really we are building a collaborative? Building a collaborative network is like you are sharing your idea with other people in different institutes, different parts of the world. So it means you are expanding your network and you are sharing your research idea with other people. So you wanted to have access to critical skills and knowledge. So some people that they come in your research or you are sharing with them, they have a specific skills or knowledge that they can add to your research. This is very important. This is one of the reasons that we do collaboration, to bring the skill set, to bring the knowledge to our work, to access lab facilities. For example, in my research, I want to analyze some sort of polar PFAS that our instrument is not able to do that. So how I can do that? I do collaboration, either from people from inside my institute or people from outside my institute, from other research institute. I build connection with them to use their lab facilities, or they're using different R&D approaches. Some institute, for example, some academic institute, they have a close connection with industry. They send their sample for free to analyze in industry. They can include also your samples. So there are different R&D approaches, research and development approaches that we can take place from analyzing your sample to hiring your students. So there are many things that are involved that you can have the access to different research and development approaches when we are building a collaborative network. This is one examples of collaborating network that I have done with different institutes. In this work that I have used 7 institutes, I have collaborated with 7 institutes from 2 different countries of United States and America. Across the country, we have collaborated with multiple institutes. So it has been a challenge to bring everybody in the same page, but it helps us to have access to international resources and national resources, and they bring all expertise, ideas, and skills in one piece of paper or in one work. So access to an integrated approach to global research issues. For example, this PFAS is becoming global matter or global issues, and many people in the world talking about it. This is very important. Or just back 2 years ago, 1 year ago, about COVID. So it was like international efforts and collaboration that led to have better understanding of consequences of COVID and how we combat against the COVID. So this collaboration network can help you to have integrated approach to global research issues and ensure effective use of resources. This is very important. So when you have a collaborative network, you are working with a group of people, you are working in a team. Some of them, they have better understanding of some issues, some of them, they don't. They bring their critiques, their suggestion to improve the work, to have a stronger work, higher quality of the work. This is very important to ensure effective use of resources when we do collaboration with different people. And at the same time, just look at this example that I have published, fate and transport of PFAS in the Weddell zone. I could do it with less people, I could do it more people. It has brought a lot of advantage to improve and publish in higher quality journal. So access to effective employment and recruitment network would be another matter that you will have also access when you are building a collaboration network. For example, so you are collaborating with Mr. X in national lab in Florida or national lab in New Mexico. You have a chance to send your students for doing short-term research or doing postdoc, or you collaborate with industry. You bring people to give seminar in your institute, or you can recommend your student to be a future employee of that institute or industry. So it helps you to build a strong collaborations and network regarding employment and also recruitment of your students in the future. And this work that I have published, briefly, I talked about it. So in this same year, I have published 2 papers. One with 7 different people, at least in the paper, or 8 people in the paper actually, and one with 2 people. So if you look at the citation, you can see the first one has more citation, has published in a better journal compared to the second one that we have only 2 people on the paper, and it has not been really collaborative approach. So we have increased the chance of publishing work in a better journal, in higher quality journal. And at the same time, we have our work receive more citation because it has been more recognized, more highlighted. It has been shared in more platforms because we have more people. Each people, they come in with expansive network in our articles. So this has increased exposure of our work to many different scientists and people to see our work. So it has helped us a lot for that we built this collaborative network in publishing one of our articles. So when we are selecting our people, what it matters for us? What do you think? This will be a key for success when we are selecting people to collaborate with them. What characteristic do you think those people can have? Right, one characteristic, if you look at this picture, you can see each people is connecting to many people, but each connected people has their own network. So when we are working with people that they have a network, it is really important for us who we want to work with. to work with those people, we need to invest time and energy. So investing time means like you can have investment of time in short term or long term. Sometimes in short term, you have today's August 28, you have deadline September 30th. So you want to publish something. This is a short term. It's not securing the collaborative network or collaborating work with other people, and we don't know even their availability. So it is very challenging, but you can still do short-term project with different people and long-term. So long-term doesn't mean that you just right away planning for that one, but you have to build your network, friendship, professional relationship, some collaborative work, and approach them smoothly and talk about your idea. And people know you, your work, so they would be comfortable to working with you. So we need to invest time, energy, and resources to bring those people in our network and collaboration work and make them trust us. And we also trust them by the time knowing them, they are good people to be in our network, or they are not really people that can add to our work. So it is important how much energy and resources, how much time you will invest to bring those people and selecting those people in your network. And it is important that we approach professional with extensive network. So if you collaborate with Mr. X, he's working with in a small university, he had just one publication. So you want to collaborate with Mr. X, does not add anything to your paper. When you submit your proposal, the chance your proposal being accepted is not so high, because you don't have really strong people in your work and with reputable research career. So you need some people, they have already established their research agenda, their network, they are well known in their area. So that's why you need to invest energy and resources and time to approach those people who have extensive network, and they can add a lot to your research, and you can rely on that and will expose your research maybe 3 times, 4 times more than what you could do alone. And you must know those people have history of collaboration. Some people, they are well known, very famous, but they don't have history of collaboration. Is it good to work with them or not good? So I don't recommend that, because we have to see what articles have been published from the group of that person, or how many papers he has been involved as a collaborator and contributed in those publications or work. So you have to see if those people are approachable, or they have history of collaboration or not. You just want to put somebody who's president of a place that he is just famous, but he has no history of collaboration. It may not be the right approach. You have to know people. You have to invest time and energy and resources to bring the right people in your research. So another thing is very important is matter of time and when the collaboration is part of a strategic development. And so this is very important. Many people, they don't know that when they have to approach people. So you have to know your deadline, your research, what you want to do, what is your plan. Are you applying for NIH or NSF? When is the deadline? Which project you are applying? Who are the key people in that research? Those are very, very important, that collaboration will take place. And you know how much time you have, how much energy you have to make that collaboration happen in that time frame. Are people available or not? When you build your relationship with people, you ask them how many proposals now they are involved, when they have availability to work on that proposal. Do they have time to submit all material that you wanted in the right time? Because you want to plan for proposal, and you want to plan ahead of time and approaching people regarding what you want to do. So these are important, because time is flying, and you must know when those people would be available. This means that you have already built good network with them, you invest the time and energy, you know the availability of those people, and this would be critical component in strategic development of your proposal writing or your research development. So for collaborative strategy process, there are several methods that has been proposed. This method was proposed by Clark and his group that published in 2010. So when you frame your partnership or you're building your partnership, you have to create a strategic plan with your partnership with different institutes. So from this a strategic plan that you are making with your partnership, you have to see, is this collective partnership actions or individual partnership action? How much you can consider as a collective partnership, how much you are consider as an individual partnership. So how much they're going to contribute? Is it matter or it does not matter? Does it change or does not change? So then you will realize the outcomes. Then this cycle will repeat. Then you will see if you have alternative to put or you will go with the same plan that you are expecting. This is always really great strategy that starts from your partnership and the reliable relationship that you make with people, that you will notice how much commitment they will bring in the project, how much contribution do they bring to the project, that you can go further and have your collaborative research work. So we talked about matter of time. So another important things about it's when you need people. For example, you want to make supportive local environment. I'm a new faculty in the Department of Chemistry, Biochemistry at UTEP. I don't know anybody, but I know what they are working on, that I have read their profile, I have talked to them, I know their research interests, but okay, I want to establish my position in the institute, in the department. I have to see what are the potential collaboration, what research interests are overlapping with me, what I can do with them to establish my work. Can I make collaborative network with them to establish my situation, my place in my department? So these are very, very important, that we make a collaborative network with people and know what are their research interests, what are the possibility and potential that we can contribute and collaborate with those people. And a dynamic host organization is very important. And for example, sometimes you want to collaborate with other people out of your institute. For example, I will do research on forensic science. I want to invite the speakers from police department. I want to see what is the gap of knowledge, what data they can bring for us. So it means very important that you also make a supportive local environment with people who are in your city, that you can consider as a local people, you can receive data from them. These are very, very important, that to whom you are contacting, which would be considered as a local. Is it your institute or it is your city, it is your state? So in what scale can it local or regional or global? These are also very, very important. So, and consider carefully. It may cost you considerable investment for no reason if you go for wrong people, if you select people that are not adding value to your work in any aspect. So it is important. So you must consider when you're approaching people and analyze their history and see if they are collaborative, they are not collaborative, how they can add to your work. So when the right people are available, that you can do collaborative research and you can share your idea, this is very important. When the right people are around your table, that you can share your idea. It means like a technical skills available. If somebody is reviewing your proposal, they look at your PI resume and say, okay, the technical is there, integrity, bring the trust. This is very important. So you must have the integrity among all contributor or your teamwork, that brings the trust. It does not mean like a teamwork always doesn't mean like equal contribution. You should always keep in your mind that when we talk about teamwork, doesn't mean equal contribution. Some people, they may not write a big portion of your research, but they bring the mentorship, or they can validate your work based on the expertise that they have, and they bring in the papers. They just read it and they say, this is fine to be submitted. So it means they have already brought their vision and they have a lot of experience. That this does not mean that they have to write some big portion to be a key component of your research. And also when we have right people, it means we have collaborative mindset, those people who really want to share and they want to be contributor to this work. It will build also collegial atmosphere. This is very important when we work with people. We need a really comfortable atmosphere to work with. And they are committed, either short-term or long-term, depending on our project. It is very important. So I brought a quote here that I think is very interesting. To be successful, team must adopt a www.com, means we will win. It means we will win mindset has been already established and set a place. And we do not, and not an I am.com, like I, me, myself, like individual. But as I said, collaborative research may not be for everybody, and not everyone or every research can be successful within collaborative work, depending how big is your idea, how collaboration can add or promote this work. And this plot has been also developed. That's very interesting. It shows the output and impact versus energy. You can see in the plot that we have some output lag phase. This lag phase is very important and also different based on the time, the teamwork that you are working, the nature of research. This lag phase is very different. Sometimes you have institutional problems or facility failure. This lag phase would be longer. For some people would be shorter. When everything is in the right place, you already know your people, you already approach them. So it always consider this lag phase based on short-term goal or long-term goal. You have some output lag that does not really add to production of your work. But after a certain stage that you pass this lag phase, this is a critical point that you can, from that point, develop different type of research because you already reached to that lag phase and you have the right people in your network. So you can have a lot of productions and outcome from your research after you pass this lag phase. And you have already built the background that you need to start the other researchers and approach the other people to come to your network, because your network has been already established and somebody cannot participate from your existing network and you want to bring in new people. They know they can trust your network because you have already published paper with those network and they know you. So this is also very important that you know your lag phase when you do a collaborative work. Another question that I have there, is it important where to connect with people? Is there any place or opportunity that you can approach people? Do you need to really meet people in person, or you can just virtually contact them? You can do it by Zoom or you just by email without face-to-face. So when we say about where, it is also important. For example, if we go to seminar or even our symposium, when we know the key speaker or people who are doing research, we can approach them. If somebody is in our network or we have seen them before, we are following their research, it's very important that we meet them in person, starting conversation, talking about your idea. Sometimes you can approach to their students that they are presenting poster or oral presentation, read their work, talk to them, see what they are talking, their idea, what research they are coming out of that work. How active they are. These are also very important if we meet them in person. Otherwise, we can always make an appointment with people over Zoom or send them email, make different appointment and have a team or Zoom meeting and see each other face-to-face, talk. The conversation is very important. Don't limit your work only with email. It's better you have some sort of interaction with Zoom and you see each other, you can talk each other, you can phone call each other. These are very important, but it does not mean necessarily we must have, but it's a very critical component that we must consider where to approach people, where to connect with people. In collaborative process, you need to actively monitor the progress. This is very important because you are a leader in your research and you initiate a collaborative network. It is important to actively monitor your progress. What that means, Means if I work with James and Alex and Martina, I want to know what was their task or contribution they have to bring to the table by that time. I have to read them. I have to let other people read their work. If they have a comment or suggestion, they can bring and be actively review what is going on, in what stage do we have, what are we missing, what are all the critics come on the table that we have to improve the work by the next deadline. And measuring the success of collaboration, as we talked about it, this is also depends on the short term or long term. We can see if we have submitted our final report or initial report or midterm report that has been already approved and accepted, or the first article has been published. And so these are kind of success that we have to consider and measure our success, but we can consider as the success of collaborations. And we have to manage our expectation. For example, if I collaborate with 3 different people, each one comes from different background or different country, so I don't expect Mr. X maybe has better writing than Mr. Y, so I don't expect that Mr. Y can write as strong as Mr. B. But this is a matter of inclusions, and we have to consider we must accept people the way they write, the way they contribute. We don't want to make a conflict of interest when we do collaboration. We don't want to upset any people and discourage them from a collaboration. We want to bring everybody in the team and accept the way they are, the way they write. So this is very important. The way they think is also important. We don't want to make it like a conflict of interest. We have to be open-minded. We have to accept many times what the people bring in the table. And sometimes if you have a scientific concern, we can start wisely negotiating and clear what we think it may not be right and they think they are right, because everybody comes from different perspective and different background. We can manage. As I said before, this is important. Teamwork doesn't mean equal contributions. This is another example that I brought for you. It's like you are investing in stock market. You are bringing your cash, and a stock market platform like a Robinhood or a Fidelity or any other platform, they invest your work. So they get benefit, you get benefits. This means like a contributed capital, the same as the research. We bring our idea, we bring our facility, we bring our expertise. Each one gets some benefit from overall contributions, but doesn't mean that everybody has the same amount of contribution when we do collaborative work. When we do collaboration, it is very critical and important. We must set the goals for the next steps. What are the next steps? Okay, we did a first meeting. We have to write our notes, what we have discussed, what is the next step, everything, write it down, and send the assignment to each person that who wants to do what is their task, what they bring for the next session. In that way, you can see the progress of your work, you can monitor your work. These are very important. And communicate and celebrate achievement, even small, with all your people who are in your network, or people who are working in your lab. If you publish paper, if you have success of approval of letter of intent, letter of intention, any small thing, you must celebrate it. If people, they are happy to come to your network, this is also celebration. So any small thing you have to celebrate and bring courage and incentive to your work and your team. Organize the plan as needed. Many people, they have different things coming up in their personal life, in their professional life. Sometimes they are not able to deliver the task that we are asked for. Some people, they are moving. Some people, they have newborn baby. A lot of things that happen that they cannot do the plan as we needed or as we requested. So we have to organize the plan. We have to have always plan A, B, C based on what we are needing, and be open for suggestions. So some people, they always in the middle of it, they have different suggestions. They may change direction of your research or proposal. Just be open to their suggestions. Sometimes it may go to the different challenge, but eventually would be fruitful and more successful. So we have to be always open to suggestions that we receive from different partners in our work. So it was actually my last slide. I want to appreciate the time that today you were in the workshop. If you have any questions, send me an email to @sharifan@utep.edu, and I would be happy to talk to you and negotiate with you, and we can maybe have some collaborative work together. And thank you so much again for your time today.